How's it going, guys? It's a heavy content creating day. Who knows when I'll get to edit and upload it though. So I'm going to do a final reading on the vanilla Bourbon Stout. The vanilla pods have been in there for a week now, so I'm going to get a final reading, find out where we bottomed out at. Then it's a case of we're just going to proceed with kegging, and yeah, we'll go from there. So let's have a little look at where we get to. Oh. On this. So I've been cold crashing the beer for the last 2 days, I think. All of the trub is now formed at the bottom. Which is what we're, you know, that's good. Smells glorious. So let's get our sample and do it. So last week we had the vanilla pods. The sample came out at about 10:15, which I think worked out at approximately a 7% beer. Yeah, it's still around that point, so yeah, it's maybe a couple of points. Let's see if I can get this. If I turn that, so there's 10. I don't know. So I was 10, anyway, 10:15 roughly. No point in wasting too much time on that. See, because it's just come out of a cold crash, we're sitting at about 5 degrees, so if it was a little bit warmer, I dare say that would be a little bit better. But no, I'd say that's definitely a nice stouty flavouring. Don't know if you can hear the barking. That's my dog indoors. She wouldn't like to come out. It's raining. I'm not sure if I can taste the vanilla in itself. Maybe it's a little bit more subtle. Unlike whiskey, which everything tastes like fucking vanilla, but some people will get that joke. But no, I'm happy with that. I'll finish sampling it in a bit. Let's get the keg ready. Siphons all ready, set up, and we'll begin the transfer. Okay, so we've got our keg here, nice and clean, nice and sterilised. Brought our fermentation barrel out, and we're just going to start siphoning it through. As soon as I add in the 400 millilitres of bourbon, first of all, to the keg. So I think I mentioned before, I'm using bullet bourbon, mainly because I knew that I'd finish the rest of the bottle. Adding about 400 millilitres to the keg beforehand, with, you know, if you do all the proper calculations, it's basically going to increase the ABV on the beer from a 7% beer potentially up to a 9% beer. Hello, Dharma. Look who's joined us. Such a little dog. Right, so let's get started with the transfer. So, transfer started. Normally it doesn't take too long. Obviously I've got 20, about 20 litres of beer. Based off of there being about 2 litres of trub down the bottom, that'd be 18 litres. I'm going to let it get down to just under 5, because I want to leave a little bit of airspace for carbon, like good levels of CO2 to fill up that top piece. Yeah, and we'll just go from there. Any leftovers, I've brought out my growler from a local brewery, and I'll fill up that with the rest. Sprinkle of granulated sugar or something to get that conditioned in the bottle. So we'll see how much we get. I think that's about a 2 litre growler, so if I can, yeah, just below of the 5 litre mark, we should be in a good spot. Right, I thought I was filming the last bit, but I wasn't. So I'll tell you what's happened. So finished off siphoning the beer out into the keg. Ended up with enough for about a pint and a bit in the growler, which is good. I'm currently adding CO2 to the beer through the beer inline, so that the CO2 gets a chance to go through the beer. I'll leave that for about 12 hours, and I'm doing it on about just short of 20 psi for 12 hours, or maybe just until this evening, at which point I'll turn the inline over to the gas line over from the beer out to the gas in, and then we'll condition at maybe about 8 psi. So it's a case of this beer is not going to be ready for approximately 12 weeks, which takes me to around just before Christmas, which isn't too shabby. I dare say I'll have some samples before then, but in the meantime I've got some other videos that I filmed today, I think I said, and I've got some editing to do and another brew day coming up, so stay tuned. Yep, so take it easy guys, and I'll catch you later.